Good morning, Mr. Shawn Armer. How are you doing today?
Great to you, Mr. Toit.
I love it. I love it. Hey, because you know what they say with my last name. You know, it's the Toy in South Africa, and in America it's the Toit. And I love both. Listen, my dad. Can I give you a quick backstory, Shawn, on me, because we can.
Please do.
And I feel like I know you. So my dad was like a real Afrikaner. Like I'm talking farm and cows and goats, and I loved it because he was my hero. And we lived out in. I was born in Benoni. Of course, I was born in Hillbrow, but we lived in Benoni. And I went to Faramir Primary School out there, and my dad had I want to say it was a 10 acre, give or take 10 acre or 10 hectare. I forget like the lingo now, but I did Fontaine. Fontaine, bro. Oh man, I had go-karts, I had motorbikes. I mean, my dad was like a 6'2" giant of a man. Was actually an engineer. He was a very smart man. He was an engineer for Boeing, for working for South African Airways for Boeing, and he actually wrote two like brochures, catalogs that Boeing published in America. Yeah, he was like the supervisor of all the wheel cabins on the Boeing. So when they would land and take off, he would be the inspector with his crew and check the mainframes and all the boards and everything's good, and because that's how you take off and land. So we don't think about those little guys underneath us, but it's a very significant position. And he wrote 2 books for Boeing on how to improve that environment.
Oh wow, yes, that's amazing.
Yes, I'm actually glad I could share that with you. I'm not too sure why I did, but maybe I'm trying to connect with you on the South African level, because I've been in LA for 27 years, in Southern California for 27 years. And he loved me, man. This guy never raised a hand at me. Shawn, maybe when I was like a baby or maybe 3, but I never remember, because he treated me very differently to my brother. And I'll tell you, I'm actually trying to get there right now. This is actually a healthy conversation. Thank you. Maybe because you're a coach, you're helping me. I appreciate that.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing your story.
Oh, thank you, Shawn. So, and I will maybe get into another situation, but through circumstances, my mother falls pregnant. My dad is in the Air Force, you know, because in South Africa you have to go to the military for 2 years. It's compulsory. Air Force, Navy, or the military. He went to the Air Force. So my mother falls pregnant. So of course, you know, somebody else is involved. He came out the Air Force, and because he's South Afrikaner, they're very conservative. So it was a big insult for him to marry another lady with another man's child. It's just like it was a no-no. My Oma and Opa were anti that decision. And because he being the oldest son, they were very disappointed in him. And ultimately he did it. And let me tell you why he did it, because he told me years later. Because my parents divorced when I was 9 years old. So the marriage didn't last. So I was like, what was going on, Dad? And he said, he didn't want to. This is beautiful, by the way. This is so beautiful. And he said when he realized that my mother was pregnant and wasn't his child, it didn't matter. He didn't want to see a child come into this world, Shawn, without a dad.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
So
and
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sharing the same story. My father passed away when I was about 13 months. And my mom got remarried, and my stepdad, that I actually love to bits, is my dad. He took me in as his own, and that's lovely to hear your story.
So are they still married today, Shawn?
They're still married, and I've got a younger brother, 7 years younger than me.
Jeez, that's beautiful.
But if people look at me and my stepdad, they actually say that we look alike.
Hey, isn't that genuine though? Hey, but think about it, Shawn. Maybe it is, as you grew up and you imitated him. you mirrored each other, you know, because we've both been in coaching before. I've been a coach, and so you're in coaching right now. You are a coach. So, you know, life imitates itself. So, wow, that is what a boom. So there it is. And then I grew up feeling pretty cool. And listen, I'm 5'5" on a good day. 5'5" on a good day. When I'm wearing some nice shoes. So I've got this big, huge dad who's just like a giant of a man. Because, you know, when an Afrikaner is a big guy, just they're big. And he treated me like a pat on the head or pat on the back. You know, he never pushed me. He never abused me. He never verbally assaulted me. I mean, I grew up feeling like, wow, I'm special. Honestly, I did. I was like, man, this, because I know Afrikaners, Shawn. I grew up with them. I know how rough and tough and mean and how boeremaker plan. So I really understood the dynamics of South Afrikaners compared to the English. Because then when my parents divorced, my mother's English. When my parents divorced, we moved. My dad had some property in Bryanston, you know, Bryanston, Santon area. So we moved there. And then I went to Bryanston Primary, Bryanston High, and so forth. But to get to this, it just shows you these men that come into our lives that are just such beautiful souls. So I'm not sure why I shared that with you. I'm not sure why we went in that direction, Shawn. But because this is about you. This is about you, Shawn. Why I'm excited about this opportunity this morning with you is you're a coach, a productivity coach. And when I first got to real estate, I didn't know what a coach was. And actually, I didn't like coaches. I didn't want to get one. And they said, oh, no, you have to have a coach. I'm like, Shawn, come on. I'm Kevin the Toit. What do I need a coach for? You know, I've got this. I've got my license that I can sell. I've got this. I don't need any coaching. And I never, ever thought it would change my life.
Absolutely. We all need accountability as humans. And the best way that we can get accountability is getting a coach that can raise us to be every day a little bit better than what we were the day before. And as difficult conversations can be with a coach, we need that to grow. And yeah, just to become fantastic human beings, we need to look forward and working with somebody that can push us to a higher level.
Exactly, to elevate us. And so I had a coach. You know, when I became an assistant team leader, I worked at the third largest Keller Williams in the world. So I was assistant team leader he's my TL today. His name's Tony Fletcher. I love the man. So whenever I can brag about him, I drop his name. So we both went for the same position. Because at that time I was the ATL, the assistant team leader of that market center, and Tony was the productivity coach. Now I knew Tony, and Tony knew me. So we were in a market center with over 900 agents.
Oh wow!
So it's a very competitive environment. So Tony was my competition, and Tony knew I was. And Tony, so we liked each other, but we had that like look at each other, like it's gonna be you or me. No, it's gonna be me. And so we both went for the position. It was just between me and him. There were other candidates, Shawn, but at the end of the day, it was down to me and him. Because the OP at that time, we knew her well, and so. It gets announced that Tony got, well, before anything happened, I knew this because I was in the running for the TL position, the team leader position, that Tony got the position. So what does a good man do? You know, or what's the right thing to do, Shawn? Give me some, before I give you what Tony I did, give me some advice on what I should do there. I want this position. I didn't get it. I lost it to a competitor who I work with, you know, day to day, in the same environment, same clientele, same customers, same agents, same staff. Well, what advice would you give me now that I've lost the biggest opportunity that I believe I had?
You know what? Everything happens for a reason that we're facing. And we can either see everything in life as an obstacle or an opportunity. And yes, if that person at that stage was at a better fit, it doesn't mean that you were wrong at all. It's just meaning that your time is just not right. We can work on ourselves to get to an opportunity. It means that there's a big opportunity that is waiting for us to happen. And yeah,
no, finish.
It's keeping your mindset safe to know that there's nothing wrong with you as a person going into that position. It is, what can I do differently to win the next opportunity?
I love that, Shawn. I love that, because that's exactly what happened. When I knew that I was beat, and I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed in everybody and in myself at that time, because it's a race. I went up to something happened. Something clicked inside of me, Shawn, and I said, you know what? The best man won. The best man won, Shawn. The best man won. So I walked up to Tony, not because I'm trying to kiss his butt. I don't have to kiss his butt. Come on, Shawn. I don't have to even kiss your butt. That's, you know, that's, no. I don't have to go that far. But I realized, you know, the best man won. And so what I did was I walked up to him, and because, you know, Toit is not somebody to be toyed with. He is very unassuming as a human being, but you don't mess with him. He's a very bright individual, and I don't take him for granted. Honestly, I don't. I study my competition. I study who I'm around, and I pay attention to the words they use, their gestures, what they're saying, what they're doing, because it all means something, Shawn. We don't just live blindly in this world. And I said to him, I went to go shake his hand. I said, the best man won. Shook his hand. In him, then it clicked. That moment, and I did not do that on purpose. I did that naturally. You know, I did it out of sincerity, Shawn. He clicked. He took me under his wing, and I tell you what, my friend, he treated, so he gave me his coach. He treated me as a team leader. So I had to perform the same tasks and results and executive decisions as him. I was the same as him, Shawn. So what happened is I had to do the same results as recruiting, run meetings, schedules, call shots and decision making. That was a game changer. And he made me a better person because of what he allowed me to do. And so we're on par. We're on the same level going forward, Shawn. And it's even to this day. So that's why now that I'm back in production, even though I live, you know, say a 35-minute drive from him, 45-minute drive in traffic, give or take, I hang my license there. I never see Tony because it's such a long drive. Because in LA or in Southern California, Shawn, when I mean 45 minutes, I mean you're sitting like in traffic. You know, you just it's, and that's where I am today because of him.
And that is absolutely fantastic, because a great leader will give you energy, and a bad leader will take energy from you. And if you've got a great leader that pours into you, or somebody that just gives to you the whole time, it's amazing, because it raises everything around you to believe in much higher values and goals. I mean, if you get more energy, I love to have big energy and to give energy to others, because if you can leave afterwards and feel better than what you came to me, then I've done great for the day. So that is amazing to hear about Tony.
No, are you connected with him on Facebook and social media, Shawn?
No. I will actually go out.
You should, you should, because when you come out here, when you go to Mega Camp and family, and when we see each other, connect with him, because he's, to me, so Shawn, great leaders. There's those that are very in your face, like Donald Trump's very in your face. And then those that are very kind of quiet power that you never really hear from them. I don't know what an example of that could be. I don't know Cyril Ramaphosa very well, but I don't know if he likes to be in the limelight or not. So I'm trying to look for an example, but I can't really give it. But Tony's one of those leaders. He's like, he's behind the curtains. He's directing the audience and the scene behind the curtain. He's not on front stage controlling the entire opera, if I can use that as an analogy. So I had to have his coach as well. So now, Shawn, remember, I haven't had a coach, and I've never had a coach, and I don't want to coach. I don't believe in coaching. Shawn, I'm looking at a coach right there in the face, over 10,300 miles away in South Africa, and I'm over here in Southern California. And I'm telling you, Shawn, I did not believe in coaching. I don't want to spend the money because it's like $1,000 a month, which Tony paid for, not me. $1,000 in rand terms, I think like 15,000 rand a month. So I can't say no because I'm also his assistant. I'm his vice president. I'm not saying I'm not going to say no, but I'm like, okay, let's try this, buddy. And I'll say his name. His name is Mike Bastian. I had this coach called Mike Bastian, and he was number 2 in the Keller Williams coaching program for MAPS. He was right under Diana Kokoska. And game changer, dude. Shawn, I like where was the disconnect that I didn't believe that a coach could guide me, direct me, hold me responsible, be my accountability partner, help me with my results, help me understand my mapping and my planning and my strategy and my goal setting. It was an amazing, massive, symbiotic relationship.
Absolutely. When I sit with coaching clients, and I do have the high D clients, that is high producers, that also come to me and say, I don't need coaching. Okay. I do get it. And it's, for me, it's investigating who you are as a person and what drives you in love. Because if I know that, and I can prove to you that I can change a little bit in your life to stretch to a higher level, then I'll put it to you straight and I'll say, this is what I can do to get you to that level. And how would you feel if I can get you to a higher level of production?
Yeah.
Because if I can import to you and make a difference in your life, will you come back? I mean, if I give you a month for free and I change your business, would you come back and say that we can sign a coaching agreement? Wow. And they do. They come back, because if it's all about how you approach it, and it's not just about getting money or anything. It's who you are as a person that matters to me. I know your goals, I know where you want to be, and I know what drives you in life. Because at the end of the day, you can drive a fancy car. For me, it's all about what's in your heart.
I like the fancy car, but yeah, exactly. It's the heart. So Shawn, can I ask you some? Can we go deep here with questions on coaching? And this is your moment to again. I want to protect yourself, but I also want to get to know the science behind coaching. Shawn, and I say everything with sincerity, but also I want us to have some fun. You look young, so you look young. Okay, so I'm not, maybe not a mature agent, but I'm a highly successful agent. Okay, and I see you, and I see what's going on, and they call your coach, and so I'm curious, Shawn, if I'm doing this, say I'm just throwing this out there, I'm already making $1 million a year, in gross commission income. I'm coming to you because they say, oh no, you got to meet Shawn. He's a coach. He'll help guide you. He'll help expand your business and build a business model and the 7 tiers, all that kind of stuff. Shawn, why would I want to hire you? What I make, and please hear me out, I'm making a bunch of money. I'm the number 1 guy in the office. Why would I? What difference can you make in my life?
Do you want to double that money? Yes or no?
Yes,
because,
of course.
And if I can show you that I can do that for you, and I can show you that you can actually go higher than just doubling it, then my age, I come with knowledge, I come with experience, and I come with very hard work. As South Africans, we love working very hard.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
So it will be, even before real estate, I was in the hospitality industry. And at the age of 20, I was a head chef, and where I had to tell 60-year-old chefs how to do their job. That's where I've learned that it doesn't matter what your age is. Dynamite comes in small packages. I've got a secret weapon.
I love
and
that.
that's being myself, and it's truly going, investigating time into your life and how I can help you.
I love that, because that's one thing my dad said to me my whole life. Because remember, my dad was a giant of a man, and this is actually a coaching session right now, so I want to enjoy this. I want to run with this with you. And he said, Kevin, dynamite comes in small packages. You know, because growing up in South Africa, especially when you're short, I have an ego, Shawn. So I think I'm taller than what I am because that's what carries me through the day. I love it. But he said dynamite comes in small packages, and let me tell you what, Shawn, he gave me that chutzpah. He gave me that oomph that anybody got my way. And Shawn, I got into many fights and got beat and bullied many times. But let me tell you what, I always got up and I always went for that person. Shawn, I'll tell you something right now. That's one thing that I learned in South Africa is I could never give up. So when I would get knocked to the ground, punched out, and and I'm gaining my consciousness back, I would get up and go for them again. Eventually, it was to that determination and that fierce energy inside of me, that animal instinct, that savagery inside of me, that had to tear the fight apart, because unless you knocked me out, unless I was KO'd, Shawn Armer, like KO'd, my friend, KO'd, I got up and I came for you again and again and again.
Absolutely. I went through the same experiences, and I've learned quickly that you don't give up, because the more you focus on that bad, negative energy, the more they'll come for you. And yes, the more they'll bully you. I've learned to actually switch them off and focus on where do I want to go as a youngster, and push myself to get out of it. And that power and that hungriness to change it, that is amazing, because we have to continue going onto the path of mastery.
Fading forward. Hey, Shawn, fading forward. So, Shawn, okay, so you can help me improve my business and double and so forth. How are we going to do that? I'm already closing. Well, I close it. Let's say I'm closing 27 or 50 units a year. You know what I mean? I'm closing several deals a month. What do you get? What value proposition are you going to add to that, Shawn?
So I'm going to shadow what you're doing. I'm going to go through quite a vigorous amount of questions so that I can learn what's happening in your business. And we're going to have some tough conversations about, do you have enough leads in your business to make that money? Because if you don't, then we'll start with lead generation. We need to stick to basics. That's the answer. And if you say to me, yes, I've got the leads, but I'm still not getting the business, we're going to look at your conversions. Where can I help you? I go out with my clients to go on appointment, because it's sometimes the very small things that they mistakenly say or do that loses that conversion. And if it's not the leads or the conversion, then we look at your expenses. Where can I help you in your budget, in your profit line, that you can make a difference?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The P&L. This is business. Shawn, I preach this. I preach this to my friend all the time. Even life is business. My relationship with my wife, Shawn, and your relationship, it's like you have to manage it. If you don't manage it correctly, it's going to fall apart. So
absolutely.
My wife's in the other room because we're in quarantine. I'm at home. So, but I'll tell you this, Shawn, I think of my wife as like a bank. And every day the bank's empty. I have to fill the bank, Shawn. The bank needs some love today. So I have to fill that bank. And guess what, Shawn? By the end of the day, the bank's full. But then tomorrow happens. All over again, Shawn. The bank's empty. So I have to fill the bank again.
Funny, because I say to my real estate agents, you wake up unemployed. You have to get dressed and get to work so that you can make the dollar activities so that you don't feel unemployed.
Goodness me. Jeez, Shawn. Jeez.
Because a big thing as well where people feel that they can't do it is that they don't have enough people believing in them. And if you say to your client that, you know what, how many properties do you need to be successful? Okay, so you need about
100. I'm closing 50 right now, Shawn. So I need 100 right now annually.
100. Then I believe you can do that. And if I tell you every day that I believe in you, I promise you they'll bring 150, 200 listings.
Yeah, exactly. To me, the numbers are really relevant at the end of the day when you're like an Elon Musk. The guy's unstoppable. Yeah. Now we're flying to Mars. Now we've got satellites to, exactly, you're right. It's like unlimited. Hey, it's unlimited.
Absolutely. If your goals and vision and dreams don't keep you awake at night, increase it, because that will force you to change.
Yes. I want to say,
must be forced.
I want to say something, Shawn, and this is my channel, so I can say what I want. I've had other coaches after Mike Bastian and after the MAPS coaching. There's a lot of I see the formula in you from the coaching program through your company, but I see something else. I see something different. You have a much more eloquent way of expressing what you've been trained to do.